Welcome everyone. Congratulations to the class of 2022, who you will meet later. This is your night and I hope you have a brilliant night. The Northern Writers Awards sit at the heart of New Writing North's work. They are the North's talent engine. And tonight you will hear from some of our alumni and what the awards have meant to them, and meet this year's winners, many of whom are taking their first professional steps into the industry. Over 2,000 aspiring writers from across the North enter the awards, and we do a great deal of reading and assessment to get to the final winners. So the people in this room tonight really are at the top of their game. They're writing work that deserves to be published, and that we will hopefully take them towards publication. Our strike rate for taking winners from awards to publication is very high. Just this week, we congratulated Victoria Bennett, whose memoir sold to Two Roads Books in a 5-way auction between publishers. And that's, for those of you who don't know the publishing sector, having a book that's in an auction where publishers are betting against each other to buy it is the very best thing for a writer. Richard Smith, a nature writer that we supported, achieved a 2-book deal earlier this year, and in May, Blood Axe Books, the largest poetry publisher in the country, who are based in Northumberland, published 3 new collections by award winners. And our alumni continue to achieve acclaim. Earlier this year, the poet Zafar Kunial received the prestigious Wyndham Campbell Award from a US foundation worth $165,000. We dream of having awards that big to give out. When we first met Zafar, he was writing the verses for Hallmark greeting cards. He used his award to give up work and concentrate on his poetry. I think we'll all agree he made the right decision. The awards can be truly life-changing for those that receive them. I'm thrilled this year that the novelist Benjamin Myers, one of our most successful previous winners, and who is here tonight somewhere, has returned the investment that he originally received from the awards and turned it into the sponsorship of the Finchale Prize, a new award for short stories. You'll be able to see the Shane Meadows adaptation of Ben's novel The Gallows Pole on the BBC soon, and his new novel, The Perfect Golden Circle, has just been longlisted for the Gordon Byrne Prize. Ben's generous sponsorship of the award shows the virtuous circle that our investment can encourage. The awards are built on this kind of partnership, and it's the kind of work that New Writing North excels at. We bring together publishers, independent presses, universities, arts organisations and public funding, alongside very special personal donations to support the awards. I'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to all the organisations, publishers and people that support the awards. We couldn't do it without you, and you really do make amazing things happen for the people that win. So New Writing North, as you can see, sits at the heart of many powerful networks, and we also thrive on creating more, as we recognise that peer support and access to people and industry encourages a great deal. Writing underpins so many areas of the creative industries, from publishing, TV, to film, games, podcasts, and even immersive technology. Good writing and good communication skills also support businesses and play a leading role in many industries. The North East is a hotspot for writing, but we desperately need better infrastructure here to exploit this capacity. We have a plan to create a new centre for writing here in Newcastle that will power up our relationships with publishers, broadcasters and universities and the public and private sector, and create a game-changing focus for writing here in Newcastle. I'm delighted to announce that as part of our journey towards creating this amazing new centre, we're about to launch a new 3-year programme funded by the North Tyne Combined Authority through their Skills for Growth programme, and we'll be investing over £600,000 in writing and skills for young people and adults in the region.
These awards are a fantastic opportunity to celebrate some of the incredible writing talent that we have in the North, and so I am delighted personally to be here again. Northumbria's strategic partnership with New Writing North is really important to us. It's been growing since 2008, and it continues to flourish and grow with a number of new strands of activity in development. The partnership enables us to co-design, co-deliver, co-evaluate innovative new ways of teaching and learning, research and impact to the benefit of both of our organisations and to the benefit of our students. One of the most obvious examples of that is our new MA in Publishing that Claire has talked about, co-designed with Hachette and launching soon. So we're really proud to be the sponsors of the Northern Writers Awards. And we've been doing that now for more than a decade. We know how important these awards can be in supporting new and emergent talent. Universities aim, ultimately, nothing less than to transform young people's lives, and that's what these awards can do as well. And our partnership with New Writing North is an important aspect of that, and these awards, I think, are a demonstration of the crucial role that ultimately that culture can play in levelling up the region.
So, as a leader of council, I just want to say how proud we are that New Writing North is based in Newcastle. It should be an integral institution for the city. We are a city, like many others, but one that's proud on our history of storytelling, writing and creativity, and New Writing North certainly contributes enormously to that agenda. For 25 years, they've been part of the skills agenda for the city, and I think increasingly so, increasingly important when we see the challenges that we're facing in the public sector, valuing stories, valuing communities, and valuing the ability to engage with people is absolutely essential, and that to me is exactly what New Writing North stands for.
I don't have the same connection to the ground that my granda had. I live in a mining town in a place named after the pit whose seams run beneath our home. But my granda had an allotment. He spent years beneath the ground, taken from it. He felt a connection to the earth that I'll never understand. It kept him safe. And so he decided in his retirement years he would put back into it. He knew it was a slow process, one none of us will be around to see the end of, but he knew eventually the marrows and the lettuce and the peas and the plums he planted will seep below the surface and create more coal for man to take. He relied on the ground, and then later the ground relied on him. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lauren. This poem is about my lovely dad who used to work in a chemical plant, and it is called I Work in a Cloud Factory and Other Lies My Father Told Me. I work in a cloud factory, he used to say, spinning steam into candy floss fluff, scattering rain to help the flowers grow. I was proud to call my dad a maker of clouds, a cloud factory worker. Dad's clouds were purer and whiter than the clouds from the other factories across the road, so he told me. They were grey, and they grumbled with bellies full of thunder, spitting out lightning. Dad's were like Mr. Whippy ice cream, buttercream icing, bubbles in the bath. Of course, I'm not cross at you, was something else he always said, with every slam of the Wendy house door behind me, with the tiny thud of every stomped foot, the go-aways, the I don't cares, the leave me alones. But when I grew up, Dad said that he was just kidding, that the whole time I thought he was making clouds, he was busy doing something else in the cloud factory, except it wasn't a cloud factory at all, and that sometimes he was a bit cross, and sometimes he was even disappointed. I decided I didn't want to know the truth about my dad, the cloud factory worker. I like him just like that, making clouds and never cross. Thank you.
Are you homesick? What does that even mean? When I can't be with you and you can't be with me. Yeah, and this house is too small for the way that I feel. Who are they to tell us what's real? My love,
Talk to me now.
my love.
I'll be around.
Tell me a story where we both belong, where there is good and bad,
Thank you so much to Claire, and good evening, everybody. As Claire said, I won a Northern Writers Award back in 2014, and what happens then is they make you come back every single year to say thank you again in different ways. So I'm here tonight to host. But winning the Northern Writers Award back in 2014 was this just incredible boost, just as I was trying to finish this first collection of poetry. It allowed me to kind of take some time out of doing freelance stuff to really kind of get to grips with it and to finish it. And they put me in Gordon Burns' cottage for a couple of weeks as well, which was a really beautiful place just to have that time to kind of edit and finish the book. And it really reaffirmed to me something that I'd always known, and something that ever since I've been really proud of, which is that I am a Northern writer. And then I was thinking to myself on the train on the way up today, well, what might a Northern writer be? Is it anyone who writes about the North? Is it, in this case, someone who lives or works in the North? Or is it someone who's somehow been imbued with that indefinable sense of Northernness? And I don't even really know what that means. But perhaps it's kind of all or none of those. And so it seems to me that, especially now more than ever, these new Writing North Awards are vital, and every single one of you in this room is vital. And whether you're from Carlisle or Conisbrough or Berwick or Burnley or Denton or Darlington, which is where I had my first ever kiss with a man. And if you look on Darlington train station, there's a blue plaque that tells you that exact fact. Your voice, your accent, your story is just as worthy as anybody else's, and your stories need to be heard. Literature is not elsewhere. It's on your doorstep, it's in your own room, and it's inside of each of you.
The boy held his fob to the sensor. He heard the latch go and he pulled the door and he stuck the front wheel of his bike into the building. And he held the door open and jammed his heel against it and wrestled the bike inside, and he let the door shut after him. The latch clicked in. He wheeled the bike down the hard, empty corridor with its back wheel ticking contentedly. And he thought of how he had been clumsy in carrying the bike into the corridor as a result of being self-conscious in the act, rather than feeling the motions and becoming them. He thought of how a fly might not evade a crushing hand if the fly was able to first consider the possible trajectories and speed involved in the manoeuvre, or how a bear might fail to grip a salmon in the shallows if preoccupied with the refraction of light in the water, and how this could alter the position of the salmon as perceived through the ocular processes, or how a boxer might be hit if he considered the technique involved when slipping a punch. And he knew that clumsiness wasn't a trait central to his character, and that as such a thing must come from a fault in his process, overthinking, maybe through some kind of surrender to instinct, he'd be able to harness a state of mind through which to attack from an innate reserve of speed and ferocity. He wheeled his ticking bike to the reverberations he made between the hard floor and the grey and white surfaces, and he heard the muffled noise of a band rehearsing, the pop of a snare offered under the muddy throb of a bass guitar. Its frequency now and then resonated with some unseen material within the corridor that rattled sibilantly.
Anthology. I never met my great-grandmother, Mary, who couldn't write her name. Nothing but a shy, shaky cross on the creased marriage certificate. Only knew my grandmother Dora from scratched sepia, her young face telling her story better than any document, a family's secrets. Self-heal, Speedwell, Meadowsweet, Lady's Mantle, and Heart's Ease. I'm gathering what I can for them, recording their names in print. Fragile charms of petal and ink to braid those lines lost between us back into wild, breathing life. This life, the only flower I have.
Hi, my name is Helen Moat. I was the judge for the Poetry Awards this year. It was a huge privilege. I'm also a former winner of the Northern Writers Awards for poetry, so I know exactly how much this means and how transformative the prize can be. Had a great time judging this year. Thank you so much to everybody who entered. What struck me the most in the range of entries was how distinct each of them was. I didn't read any two that felt stylistically similar. Everyone had a really distinctive voice. I think in the end, I was looking to be surprised. I was slightly looking to have the rug pulled from under my feet and to have that sense of how did they get there? How did they arrive at that idea? I was also looking for a perfect blend of form and content, something finding its exact mode of expression. Congratulations to all of the winners and to everyone else. It was a great privilege to judge.
I'm Liz Flanagan. I judged the young people's category. Across both age ranges, the standard was fantastic. There was a real variety of stories and poems. Some were funny, others were eerie. It was great to see our beautiful northern landscape coming through in so many, and to hear a huge variety of northern voices. Congratulations to everybody shortlisted. I think the future of writing is safe in these young writers' hands. I also judged the Northern Debut YA category, and across the shortlist, the standard was superb, really technically accomplished writing. Some were set in the future, dystopian or speculative, others were historical, and others still were contemporary YA at its very best. Really beautiful writing. So congratulations to all these writers on the shortlist, and thank you. I really enjoyed reading your work.
I'm really delighted to have been given the opportunity to judge the Northern Writers Award. I was very impressed with all the submissions, writers tackling everything from their identity to larger issues, a lot of dystopian fiction, which was really impressive and related to some of our current anxieties in the world today. The quality of the writing was overall really impressive. And we actually had some pretty tough decisions to make. So overall, it was a really satisfying process, and I congratulate all the writers and wish them all the best.
I've written, I think, something like, I'm quite cool now. I actually don't know how many episodes I've written, which I think does make me quite cool, but I think it's something like 38 or 39 episodes for Hollyoaks, which feels like a really, really big deal. And it shows you that the award isn't just something that's done as a kind of act, which is almost like an act of charity of, you know, let's help the brown people write for TV, let's help the working class people write for TV. It's actually quite significant, and it's actually something that's really, really life-changing, and something where you have an organisation that has a very genuine commitment to make sure that people who don't fall into the normal category of what a writer should be, helping give them a voice and helping give them a second career, which then they hopefully pass on to somebody else.
Hello and congratulations to you all. What an achievement. Well done. I am so excited for you, so happy. It's not just your award, but because when you win a Northern Writers Award, one of the benefits you receive is access to community, friendships, support, opportunities, and more. Now, I could not be more pleased for you. I'm Yvonne Battle-Felsen. In 2017, I won the Northern Writers Award for Fiction. Since winning, Remembered was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction, shortlisted for the Jalak Prize, selected as a New Writing North Read Regional Book, and more. I really wish I could be there with you tonight to help you celebrate. Again, I am so happy for you, and really, I cannot wait to read your words.